do my city logo instead of Rabbit Hill. But
Well, good evening, one and all. Welcome to Red Barn Radio. This evening we continue on in our 23rd year of this program with episode number 874. How about that? Yeah. And our guest for show number 874 this evening is the Wildwoods. The Wildwoods emerge as a folk Americana trio, husband and wife Noah and Chloe Gose, with the complement of their longtime friend Andrew Vaggalis on the doghouse. The Wildwoods have begun carving out a unique place in the folk landscape, playing stages throughout their native Midwest states. The trio was also co-billed with the likes of Ferrell, Aiofe O Donovan, and Jamie Wyatt on international stage. We bring you the Wildwoods.
Thanks for having us, Brad.
Town she moves like heavy wind, floating in and out of storms. She is like hell to him, beautiful and honest, yet so hard to understand, like a bright reflection from a perfect emerald gem, and it's so hard to see the bright side of anything. You gotta keep on moving, try to live another day, and maybe we're happier before. Maybe you don't need me here anymore. Oh, 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 oh.
Memory springtime on Foxfield St. John. Following a herd of goats along a Glendon walk. Tearing up my favorite shirt against the ancient rocks. And it's so hard to see the bright side of anything. You gotta keep on moving, try to live another day. And maybe we're happy before. Maybe you don't need me here anymore.
Running in and out of town, she moves like heavy wind.
Remembering springtime on Foxfield St. John.
Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to Roots Music Southern Style. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's premier cultural development, advocacy, and fundraising organization, working for the development of a strong and vibrant arts community as a means of enhancing the quality of life in Central Kentucky. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
Our Red Barn Radio guests tonight from Lincoln, Nebraska have become a force in the folk scene, boasting accolades across American media and growing an impressive fan base in recent years. Though this trio draws upon the work of artists such as Nickel Creek and Welsh Rawlings, I think you'll agree it's not easily confined to a particular genre. I think you'll also agree that what Noah, Chloe, and Andrew are doing is really special and a fine thing to pass along to a dozen of your friends. Their latest release, their third, is called Foxfield St. John and develops their sound in some interesting new ways. Noah and Chloe say this about the album. Foxfield St. John is a series of stories and moments based off of experiences from our travels, our journey of growing up together, and our overall endeavors to dream and discover a beautiful path worth following. I know they have some other new stuff happening, a new single, and am I correct that just in a couple of days you're going to roll out a new collection of songs?
Yeah, we're just doing one single this Friday, which is the first single to be released from an album that we will be releasing in April.
All right.
2025.
Good. Well, you'll have time to talk all about that during the show. We're so glad you're here. Welcome the Wildwoods to Red Barn Radio.
Thanks for having us.
We are happy to be here. We're going to do a song called Like My Old Man, and I wrote the song for my father, who has a collection of 300 bonsai trees, which is way too many bonsai trees, but this has always been a very inspiring thing to me because, you know, my mother told him many times, you can't have 300 bonsai trees in this house, but he persisted. He wasn't going to let anybody get in the way of that dream, so an inspiring thing. So we tell everybody, find your 300 bonsai trees. Even if it's not 300 bonsai trees, it can be anything. This one's called Like My Old Man.
I'm a son of the earth. When my mother calls like the song of a bird, I'm the first to harmonize, and I'm the first to realize I could have never been born. And there'll be some small chance through the palm of her hands I've risen through the storm. Forgive my innocence of what I've said and done. It may just be where I come from that taught me how to live as one. Am I just too young and dumb? I don't know. I will remember my roots. I will continue to grow on the land that I sow, among the flowers and trees, floating along the gentle breeze. I hold my hands up to my ear and fight through every fear I may face. She's helping me whenever we race. Forgive my innocence of what I've said and done. It may just be where I come from that taught me how to live as one. Am I just too young and dumb? I don't know. Forgive my innocence of what I've said and done. It may just be where I come from that taught me how to live as one. Or am I just too young and dumb? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Thank you. We have an in-studio audience. This is kind of cool.
Yeah. A lot of times for things like this, which, there's really nothing like this. This is a very unique thing on its own. But during some, live studio things, it can be more.
We're a little more, we're sweatier.
A little bit more nerve-wracking when there's like nobody else in the room.
Yeah.
We're only left alone to Andy's judgment.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you all for being here in person. We're going to sing a Bob Dylan tune for you. Now, last fall, we were asked to be a part of this band competition at a festival in Massachusetts, and we didn't read the rules very thoroughly because when we showed up, we learned that it was a bluegrass band competition, and we're not a bluegrass band, so this was news to us. And we had just driven through the night from Wisconsin to get to this festival, so we weren't feeling well. We weren't going to do good. And so we quickly, one of the rules was you had to do like a traditional or standard bluegrass tune, and we didn't know any of those. It's very specific for a band that's not a bluegrass band. So we just bluegrassified the oldest song that we know, which is this Bob Dylan song. So, and we just continued to play it. So here's Don't Think Twice, It's All Right.
Sit down on a while, baby. It'll never do so now. When your rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm a traveling on. Don't think twice, it's all.
And turning off your light, babe. I'm on the dark side of the road. Still, I wish that there was something you would do or say to try and make me change my mind and stay. We never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. And calling out my name, girl, I can't hear you anymore. I'm a thinking and a wondering, walking down the road I once loved and wanted, a child I'm told. I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. Don't think twice, it's alright. I'll just say fairly well. I ain't saying you treated me unkind. You could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kinda wasting my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright. Don't think twice, it's alright. Don't think twice, it's alright. It's alright.
Don't think twice, it's alright.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we lost. We lost the competition. But that's okay. You know, the other two groups that we were up against, they were bluegrass bands. We just felt, you know, oh, anybody can be a bluegrass band for 3.5 minutes. You just got to believe it, right?
These guys, they didn't have to just believe it, though. We got there, they already had a campfire jam going on inside backstage. They're, you know, wearing nothing but overalls and boots with their big toes sticking straight out. They carried all their stuff in hankies attached to the end of sticks. You know what I'm saying? These guys were bluegrass. They also all went to Berkeley, which is a really nice music school up there in Boston that we unfortunately did not attend.
No, we did not. But we met Andy at the contest. He kind of went to Berkeley.
Yeah, I was the janitor there for a little bit. You know, I'd go in there with my broom in the classrooms after hours. They'd have, you know, these crazy, tricky bluegrass lines written on the chalkboard, so I'd try to figure them out. And then one day they caught me, and they said, "Holy cow, the custodian's a savant. Who knew? Here at this prestigious Boston University." You can make a movie about it. I don't know. I think the script's right there. Someone's got to get a hold of Matt Damon.
Robin Williams was his mentor.
Mm-hmm.
What a beautiful story, Andy. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
I don't know if that story has ever been documented online anywhere,
Has now.
but now, yeah.
The world knows.
That's important because people always ask how we met Andy, so now they know.
Well, we're going to do a song about West Virginia. This one's called West Virginia Rain. The first time we ever visited West Virginia, we were scared because of some events that occurred while we were there, and we didn't think we'd ever return. But we've returned many times and have had an incredible time. West Virginia is amazing, so beautiful, but we were a little bit spooked, which people have told us about the first time they've ever been in Nebraska, which usually doesn't involve people getting out of their car even, you know. They're just driving through. So here's West Virginia Rain.
West Virginia rain, misty mountains calling out my name. West Virginia rain, falling down to take away my pain. I see it in your eyes, you're all alone and terrified. Thought that leaving home would guide a little more into your life. Brother in distress, I think it's time you take a rest. Oh, the bitterness has settled in your mind. Oh, how the hell did you let yourself become so blind? West Virginia rain, misty mountains calling out my name. West Virginia rain, falling down to take away my pain. Seeping into your head, drying your somber eyes. Does the rainfall take you back to simpler times? Calling your name, but it's not the same. West Virginia rain, misty mountains calling out my West Virginia.
Hey, falling down to take away my pain. Falling down to take away my pain. Falling down to take away my pain.
Thank you so much. So you might be wondering why we were spooked the first time we were in West Virginia.
I know our West Virginia NPR audience will be interested to know.
Sorry.
And I want to re-say, we love West Virginia. We've had many trips and shows there that, you know, I'll never forget in a good way, you know. But this other way was, it was kind of our fault. We were driving along. It was our first time driving through West Virginia, maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
And it was just Noah and me, because it was before we met Andy.
That's right. And it was a Monday, and we were driving to Richmond, Virginia. We didn't even have a show booked, but I decided to call up this place that was coming up in the next town and ask if we could trade a couple hours worth of music for some chicken wings. And
Of course, they said yes.
it was a Monday, you know. We were gonna have the night off, but decided, what the heck, let's just do it. And we get there, and you know, we didn't think the bar was even in operation, let alone anything else in the town that this was in. But sure enough, we go inside, and the bartender slash owner slash chef slash bouncer tells us to bring all of our stuff inside, and so we do just that, and we were playing along for maybe, I don't know, an hour and a half, and then the bar filled up, which had been empty up until then. The bar filled up with people, and we learned that the strip club across the street had closed down for the evening, and so.
And all of our audience, they were strippers. They became strippers. So maybe we were the world's first folk strip club that ever came to be. I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad idea, honestly. But Noah and I were the only music happening in this bar. So we were like, should we keep playing? Should we stop? I don't know. They're dancing to our music. And we kept playing for a little while, but then money started being thrown around, but not for our tip jar. So we packed up and we got out of there, and we got a campsite to do some hiking to see the beauty of West Virginia. And then it just downpoured rain, as it does in West Virginia. It just rained straight for 2 days, and we were trapped in our campground because there were mudslides happening around us, so we could not even leave. So we sat down, we wrote West Virginia Rain, which is how that song came to be. But I always say we met Andy at the bar that night, so it ended up being an overall amazing experience.
That's a true story, actually, and I know what you're thinking, okay? Mom, if you're watching, I know what you're thinking, all right? I wasn't one of the strippers, all right? I was the janitor at the strip club. So I'd go in there with my broom, and be doing these crazy, tricky moves up there, and I thought, well, I could do that. So I got an upright bass, which is essentially a stripper pole with 4 strings attached, you know?
And he's really good at playing the G string.
Oh, no. Another beautiful story from Andy. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Welcome.
For the
They're gonna be like, who let these guys on this thing?
Yeah.
We need to send them home.
Well, we're gonna do a stripperless song now. This one's called 13 Sailboats, and it goes like this.
This one's about following your dreams.
Yeah.
timid sailor was I would sleep on the shore, dream of nothing more of my life, and all of the open doors I have in
Slave and jail, caught on a hook like a runaway train. She
runs free.
spreading like wildfire and tarnished by rain, like a
Renaissance
painting she hangs on the walls of the trees. But nothing is at all as it seems. Holding your hands in the candlelight, slipping away from your gentle light. Soft hallucinations of your silhouette on pages of my story, tracing out your face, and I can see my own reflections in the drawing. Nothing is at all as it seems. Holding your hands in the candlelight, slipping away from your gentle light. Soft hallucinations of your silhouette on pages of my story, tracing out your face, and I can see my own reflections in the drawing.
Oh, 13 sailboats passing me by, and a young timid sailor was I would sleep on the shore, dream of something more of my life, and all of the open doors I have ignored.
All right. Hi, folks. We're so glad you're here with us on Red Barn Radio tonight. Our guests are the Wildwoods, and they're Chloe and Noah Gose and Andrew Vaggalis. They're from Lincoln, Nebraska. I think that you are our first artists ever from Lincoln, so welcome.
How about it?
Welcome from Kentuckians to Nebraskans.
Oh yeah.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
That's how we say it, right?
That's how we say it.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
good. Nailed it. All right, well, there's so much to talk about. Your songs are such compositions, and you know, we don't always think of songs that way, and especially in Americana, you know, songs are songs, and they deliver a lyric. I mean, you all deliver a whole lot of stuff, lyric and a lot of emotion, and it's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
what a great sound.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I would love to hear hear you, Noah and Chloe, tell your story prior to the time that you met Andrew when he was cleaning latrines, wherever that was. Was it, I don't know if I really get the story. Is he a liar?
No.
I mean, I'm just not sure.
Well, so
No,
I
Andy
can't
never
tell.
lies.
I wouldn't lie to you
we
about it.
met him, at this
We met him on the way here today, actually.
Yeah,
Did
but we also went to high school with him. So these are.
all right, yeah. Let's piece that together.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can unpack that a little bit. Talk about you all first, and then we'll talk about Andrew.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Chloe and I, this is Chloe. We met when we were 14 years old, and Lincoln, Nebraska, is a
And now we're 15, so not that long ago.
Lincoln, Nebraska is a beautiful, great place to grow up, but there's not, at least in the kind of the circles that we were in as children, there wasn't a whole lot of musicians, I guess, around that we knew that were our age. We went to.
Well, so I started playing music with my older brother, whose name is also Noah. But I don't like to tell this story because it's kind of confusing. Like in interviews that I've done, some people think that you're my brother. But no, my brother's name is also Noah. And so I grew up playing music with him. And that, honestly, that's true. We didn't have a lot of friends that played music. And so that's why I played music with him. And then when I met Noah, when we were 14, I was like, oh my gosh, another person that's not my sibling that plays music. And it was just so cool. Like immediately we had a musical connection, and we started dating when we were 14, whatever that means when you're that age. But that was really the thing that bonded us. We both figured out that we played music, and then like I feel like on the second time that we hung out, we just started playing songs together, and that's kind of how it grew from there. And we actually met Andy in high school. That's just a joke that we do on stage at our live shows, because everyone's always like, well, you guys are married, but how did you meet this guy? So
that's some good shtick. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but of course, as we've grown, and we're able to branch out to the Lincoln community, there's such a vibrant scene of musicians in Lincoln, Nebraska. I mean, the talent is just unbelievable. So many amazing songwriters, and so many great musicians. It's a shame that a lot of them kind of stay in the bubble of Lincoln. But
And so, are they? Are we talking about mostly folk music? Are we talking about just a whole range of stuff?
really a whole range. There's really not a whole lot of folk music going on. Between folk and bluegrass, there's like maybe 3 other groups.
Is there bluegrass out there?
There's a group of
There's a handful of people.
yeah.
There's like little pockets of every genre, which is really cool to see in a community, I guess. I wouldn't say there's more of a certain genre than another genre in Lincoln. But yeah, there's a pocket of folk people that we play with that go to Winfield every year, and they
Oh,
play
sure,
in their
of
bluegrass
course.
jams.
Oh, you need to tell folks about Winfield, because there are folks listening, of course, who do know about it, but probably mostly musicians. Tell folks about Winfield.
We've actually never been.
We've
to
never
Winfield.
been.
Yeah, but you can probably tell the story.
We've
We
heard
know of the-
stories.
We know of the legend of Winfield.
So is it mostly contest? Is it mostly contest style? It's competition, isn't it?
I mean, I think some of it is. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, there's a lot of contests, but from what I've heard, it's just kind of like you walk 5 feet and there's a jam circle. You leave, go another 5 feet, there's another jam circle. So, we'll have buddies that's like, and I was going to go back to my tent to grab some things, but then 3 hours later, I was tornadoed around like 10 different jam circles, and I forgot what I went to my tent for even.
But that's not going on like 12 months a year. It's happening
Yeah.
during this little pocket of time, right? Which
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
Winfield.
I believe it's like
Have
the
a name?
third weekend of September.
Okay.
The
Every
Walnut,
year.
The Walnut Valley Festival.
Oh,
I think is
okay.
what it's-
Either the second or third weekend of September.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Good. We digress. So go back to the story that you were telling about Lincoln and the scene there.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. So the three of us we're very fortunate to find each other. Like Noah and I met when we were 14. We played music all throughout high school. My brother played with us, and we've also had like just a rotating lineup of different musicians that we've been fortunate to play in our band. So at one point our band was like 7 people at a time, but of course it's really hard to tour with that many people. So when COVID hit, Noah and I toured, and we played primarily just the 2 of us, and we got really comfortable with that, but we felt like we were missing something still. And we had played with Andy. Andy was in the Wildwoods before that, and we were just like, that's the perfect missing puzzle piece, and we became a trio then after a couple years of just playing the 2 of us.
And you guys also always wanted to do 3-part?
I mean, I don't know about Andy, but Noah and I always did. Like, that's what, to us, what the songs were missing the whole time was a third harmony and just, more to it.
Yeah, and the one he does, a nice high tenor. It does sound great, Andrew.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, really, really great sound that you guys put out. So Lincoln, Nebraska. All right. Well, we're going to come back to that. Can you talk a little bit about sort of how music sort of filtered down to you all in your family? I haven't heard any mention, for instance, of church, which we always hear in the southern part of the country here, right? Music comes that way from parents. What about you all? How did you happen to, pick up the violin, for instance, Chloe?
Yeah. So the 3 of us are very similar in that we all grew up Catholic. We all went to Catholic school together. So it's a very different type of music that is sung in Catholic mass, which is not like what our music derives from at all. But so I feel like each of us have a very unique story of how we started playing music. And I started playing mostly because my older brother was playing the guitar, and I wanted to play music with him. I just wanted to do something that was really cool. I just thought that was so cool that he knew how to play chords and just sing any song. And so
you're
my
in
mom.
You're in middle school at that point
I was
in time.
in.
You're thinking.
No, I was in like 2nd grade.
Oh wow. Okay.
At this time.
Yeah.
My brother's 2 years older than me. And so he was playing, and then my mom asked me one day, well, what do you want to play, Chloe? Do you want to play an instrument? Do you want to learn something? And I was just trying to think of the most unique instrument I could think of at the time. And to me, the violin, I was like, nobody I know plays the violin. That's like the best thing that I could do. And in our school, like the Catholic schools in Lincoln, they don't have an orchestra. They don't have a strings program. So that I think that's why partially I thought it was so unique. If I were in public school, maybe I'd be like, no way, I don't want to play the violin. But that's what I chose just randomly. And my grandpa, he paid for my violin lessons growing up. And then so I started playing music with my brother, and that was that.
Yeah, so you took lessons. What kind of lessons did you do?
I
Suzuki
studied
method, all that?
classical. That was my primary form. And then when I was in 5th or 6th grade, there was one bluegrass thing going on in our town called the Spitfire Fiddle Band. And it was just every Saturday, violinists would meet up and we would play fiddle tunes just from memory. And it really scared me at first because I was only really used to playing music I was only used to playing it by reading sheet music. And our teacher, Nissa, she was like, no sheet music allowed. You just got to play from the heart. And I feel like that really pushed me forward in some ways to just go outside of my comfort zone. So I kind of did like bluegrass fiddle tunes, but I didn't learn old time fiddle from a young age, I would say.
Huh. Wow. Do you remember that first time that you sort of jumped off?
I do.
And tried to improvise and
I do.
Yeah.
And I cried to my mom. I came home from Spitfire Fiddle Band and I was like, I do not want to go back there. I hate this. And she was like, Chloe, come on, you got to keep doing it. Nice. And it was the best thing for me, really. It was really, a good thing.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Noah, what about your story? And so Catholic Church.
Yes.
And am I hearing you all say that musically speaking, what you draw mostly from the Catholic Church is what you do vocally?
You know, I'm sure it seeps in there.
Uh-huh.
It's not like it wasn't like we're sitting down when we're arranging our songs.
Yes.
Being like, oh, how can we, mimic.
Remember
were
that
you
mass
there when they crucified my Lord or something,
Uh-huh.
Which, Johnny Cash version of that song will forever be my favorite. But You know, I think it works its way into there, you know, just
Yeah.
from, you know, there's a lot of very strong, you know, traditional songs and hymns that I think just live kind of in the back of our heads that if we hear it start to play, you know, we'll just, you know, all the words of the hymn will just come right back to us like we're sitting there in mass as a first grader or something. Yeah, you know, when I was, I think around 5th grade, well, a few years before then, my mother had put me and my 2 siblings into piano lessons, and I was very defiant. I didn't like reading sheet music, and I just wanted to, you know, learn all these other, you know, non-classical songs that my piano teacher was trying her best to get me to learn. And then one day around 5th grade or so, I found my father's guitar that he never really learned how to play underneath his bed.
An acoustic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and there was a VHS tape inside the case of how to play Pretty Woman, like the don-don-don, but it only had the first half of the riff because the rest was there was like a Seinfeld episode taped over it, and so I was like staying home sick from school, watching the first like 15 minutes of the tape, just trying to get it down, and then I was completely hooked after that. And so I was never really a huge fan of learning other people's songs unless it was a Beatles song. And my parents had gotten me this really thick book that Christmas of Beatles songs, but they were all in the key of C, which I think in the long run kind of hurt me a little bit, just because a lot of the songs just kind of feel like they're in C sometimes. But I just like tried to write my own little melodies to the chord progressions in this Beatles book, and yeah, I don't know. And then here we are now.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's great. That's fun. That's
Yeah.
fun. Andrew is back. Andrew, we have people in the building here who clean the bathrooms. You didn't need to run out.
No, sorry, I left my pot roast in the oven.
Oh,
I had to-
okay. All
I
right,
had to
good.
Check that.
All right. Hey, Andrew. So while you were gone, Chloe and Noah were telling their story about sort of where music came from in their families.
Yeah.
And Chloe said you all, even though you have sort of similar roots, that you all kind of come from have a very different story or have unique stories. What's yours?
Certainly. Well, I took guitar lessons when I was in 8th grade, and just kind of on a whim, and wasn't super serious about it. I was going to be the next Bernie Williams. That was my dream. I was going to be a baseball player, and so my freshman year was playing baseball, and leading up to tryouts, I almost said auditions.
Well, Andrew, it's interesting to me that the baseball player you chose happens to be a great musician.
Fantastic guitar player. Oh,
but
yeah.
Did you know that about him at that time when he
Had
was your idol?
Zero idea.
Oh, that's great. Okay,
Oh,
good.
yeah.
So go ahead.
But yeah, so leading up to tryouts, once a month you had to meet up with the coach to kind of talk about how you're doing with everything. And I also started doing the musical there, and so that would overlap with conditioning after school, where all the baseball players, you go and you run and you do all that stuff. And I remember that very first meeting after musical started, where my coach was like, "Hey, so I noticed, we've been missing you at some of the conditioning." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've been, I have musical rehearsals." He's like, "Yeah, all right." And so at that moment, I'm like, maybe this isn't gonna go well. And so ended up, starting a band with some buddies. And all three of us played guitar, so we're like, man, one of us has to play bass. And kind of similar to Noah, I just recently gone down the Beatles rabbit hole. I'm like, well, man, Paul McCartney played bass. It's good enough for him. I'll play bass. Like, Mom, I need to get a bass. And so I got a bass for Christmas. And
Did you play it with a pick or?
I did play with the pick.
Yeah.
That's how McCartney did it.
Yeah.
And even got a couple years later, one of the Indonesian-made Hofner violin
Oh yes,
basses,
perfect.
and played that for quite a few years. And yeah, so that's kind of the story of how I kind of got
Well,
started.
very neat. Did you hang around with a bunch of sort of wild kids? Like were the kids that played music with you, were they other athletes who decided they also wanted to have a band, or were they the other kids in the school?
Two of them were, and two of them like even still played, whether football and basketball or cross country and stuff. Then our drummer Matt me and him are kind of the ne'er-do-wells, I guess.
Hey, I'm talking to the Wildwoods. They're from Lincoln, Nebraska, and we're going to talk a lot more after they play some more music, and I'd love to talk more about Lincoln, because we got a lot of questions.
Yes, sir.
All right. Welcome back to Wildwoods.
Hey, thank you, everybody. We're going to do a tune called Footprints on the Floor. This song is going to be on our album that we are releasing in April of next year. And it was inspired by the many broken Chemex coffee pots that we've had. We've had 11 Chemex coffee pots because they're very fragile and we're very clumsy. Here's the song.
Noah's clumsy.
Locks of hair on the floor, still waiting for it to grow back so I can go outside. Spoiled milk in the fridge, how shame falling, wasteful of my selfish mind. Why have I been so unkind? Well, I suppose I'm overthinking. I have been drinking on a Monday afternoon. Ooh, 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 all my thoughts belong to her. She rents a room up in my head, or sifting through the drawers. Ooh, 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 won't you tell me what you find? 'Cause all that you have left behind are footprints on the floor. Oh, yellow teeth in the mirror, staring back at me. I cannot wait until they all fall out. One less little thing to worry about anyway. Why have I been so afraid? Perhaps I'll make some marmalade from the pulp of the fruits of my labor. Are you still angry about the broken coffee maker? Ooh, 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 all my thoughts belong to her. She rents a room up in my head, or sifting through the drawers. Ooh, 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 won't you tell me what you find? 'Cause all that you have left behind are footprints on the floor. Oh, oh. Lots of hair on the floor, still waiting. Spoiled milk in the fridge, how shameful. I suppose I'm overthinking. I have been drinking on a Monday afternoon. Ooh, 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 all my thoughts belong to her. She rents a room up in my head, or sifting through the drawers. Ooh, 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 won't you tell me what you find? 'Cause all that you have left behind, all that you have left behind, all that you have left behind are footprints on the floor.
Thank you so much. I think we're going to do a tune by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young here from their album called Deja Vu. This This is a tune that they wrote called Our House. And Andy knows a little bit of the backstory on this one. What occurred, Andy? What happened?
Well, I was.
Andy used to be in this band, so he knows.
That's true. It was going to be Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and also Andy. But they said that was too many ands, so I got the boot. But before I got the boot, I got some insight, and I was there when Joni Mitchell started dating David Crosby, and he cheated on her a couple times, which you can't be doing that. That's a bad thing to do in general. It's a crazy thing to do when it's Joni Mitchell. But sure enough, he did it. She wrote a song about it, and got with his bandmate Graham Nash a little bit later after that. And Graham wrote this song Our House about Joni Mitchell, and there's even like a lovely demo you can find online where it's them sitting at a piano, just the two of them, and they're kind of singing the song together. But I always think about David Crosby whenever I hear this song. He's singing these lovely harmonies on his song about his ex-lady. Not only his ex-lady, it's Joni Mitchell. He's probably like kicking himself. But don't think about that when we're playing the song. Think about love and two cats in a yard.
The flowers in the vase that you bought today, staring at the fire for hours and hours while I listen to you play your love songs all night long for me. Only for me. Come to me now and rest your head for just 5 minutes. Everything is done. Such a cozy room. The windows are illuminated at the sunshine through them, fiery gems for you, only for you. Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you. The flowers in the vase that you bought today.
going to do another newer tune of ours. This is another one that's going to be on the album that we are releasing in April, but we'll be releasing this song as a single, I believe on December 6th. So stay tuned for that. This one's called Hideaway. We're not really sure what it's about. But if you as the listener think you know what it's about, message us and we'll go with that from now on.
At the table, all our friends are eating alone. Drop your fingers, take a breath and swallow it whole. Are there lips in your ears that are driving you mad? Do they hold you like a marionette? Is there more to life than a morning smoke? Well, I guess I haven't found it yet. I saw you. You see me, I saw your reflection and it's putting me at ease. I've been there before, in the belly of the whale. I swam up for air before I fell underneath. Bow and let the crowd applaud you, masquerading on a full moon. Now the curtains have closed, it's the end of the show. Swoon by your ulterior motives, oh, and there she goes, off to find a hideaway. Of your needles and pins, roll the hallways, racing thoughts and tireless lips. Are you tired of the mess that collects in your nest? Is your head spinning off of the tracks? And you're blowing your horn 'cause you run out of steam. Why'd you ever think that they had your back? I saw you, did you see me? I saw you praying in the dark on your knees. Glass on the floor, glass in my feet, blood on the carpet seeping into the concrete. Bow and let the crowd applaud you, masquerading on a full moon. Now the curtains have closed, it's the end of the show. Swoon by your ulterior motives, oh, and there she goes, off again to hide away.
Hey, before we continue on with more music and conversation, I'd like to take just a moment to remind listeners that Red Barn live streams, both tonight's and on any Wednesday, remain available online for you to view at your convenience, along with live audio streams, compliments of WGAD.net in Central New York. Don't miss a single episode of our program, and heavens, be sure to tell your friends and share what you like about Red Barn Radio. It matters. Hey, and our guest next week on Red Barn Radio is an ensemble we've had with us before. We've watched them grow with much glee and have sorely missed them because they've traveled and performed widely in recent years. I'm talking about Magnolia Boulevard. a band of great players and soul singers who've been widely recognized for what they bring to the stage. For instance, they took home first prize in the On the Rise band competition at Floyd Fest, a huge assemblage in Virginia. 12,000 people or so go there. Magnolia Boulevard is a band that makes us proud to call Lexington home. We know you love them because you ask about them all the time. Well, here we are. It's Magnolia Boulevard next week on Red Barn Radio, in studio, and on Red Barn Radio's live stream, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. Next week's program will not be open to an audience. We have a lot of moving parts with the band, so next week will not be open to audience. Thank you. Hey, and let's get back then to some music. Those are my announcements. I'm done with them. So,
right.
so let's get back to the reason why we're here. The Wildwoods.
Thank you, Brad. We're going to do a song called The Hard Times Have Come and Gone. And this is a tune from our album that we released last year. This song came about from the time that we broke down in Berthoud, Colorado, and we were stuck at a Love's truck stop for 5 days, which being stuck at a Love's truck stop for maybe one day could be a good time, but 5 days was way too much. I never want to have Taco Bell again, because that's all they had there at the Loves. But as we were stuck for 5 days, we were planning to do this tour down there, up to Colorado, and then just have some time off. But that time off turned into us trying to figure out how to get the RV started. So it was a slightly old RV. It was from the early '90s, and so things were a little bit loose inside and out. And so we were thinking it was never gonna work and get fixed. And so we wrote this song, "The Hard Times Have Come and Gone," hoping that they would go, and they did. So this one, here's the song.
Broken down on 25, Colorado in my mind. How am I to leave this place? My time is over now.
The chips and dust and leather boots, oil spills and tangled roots, pushing up and out of the earth and kicking rocks along. Well, wishing I was home, and you rolled tight in the headlight of a never-ending road that takes you as you are. You were stronger than the northern star. If you're stranded and commanded to leave and not return, you need to carry on. Write a letter to your home, say the hard times will come and go.
Arguments, dead-end streets, tires piled in the heat. Reminisce on better times, we'll marry at sunrise, and we'll drink our father's wine. And you roll tight in the headlight of a never-ending road that takes you as you are. You are stronger than the northern star. If you're stranded and commanded to leave and not return, you need to carry on. Write a letter to your home, say the hard times have come and go.
following your taillights,
calling you just to say
I'm scared and I need to hear your voice on this highway. And you're holding tight in the heavy love of a never-ending road that takes you as you are. You're stronger than the northern star. If you're stranded and commanded to leave and not return, you need to carry on. Write a letter to your home, say the hard times are come and go.
Thank you. I feel like I was going through all the stages of puberty throughout that song.
All
Couple
of them?
voice cracks. I lost my voice a couple days ago. Andy was just getting in my way, and so I was.
I'm rowdy.
I was yelling, "Andy, get out of my way! Andy, get out of my way!" You know,
I'm
a little,
ornery.
little bit too loud. Andy, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That's not
Okay.
a true story.
I accept your apology.
I appreciate that. On to the next song.
We're gonna play a Tom Waits tune, but I think the version that got us hooked after hearing this song was we saw a cover of Sarah Jarosz performing it. Was it on Prairie Home Companion when that was a thing?
Not sure. I don't remember what it was on.
I just remember the video. It might have been that. So we're kind of doing it in her style, but just because I can't sing like Tom Waits, I haven't had enough cigarettes to do that yet. So, so this is a song. It's called "Come On Up to the House."
Well, the moon is broken and the sky is gray. Come on up to the house. The only thing that you could see is all that you lack. Come on up to the house. Oh, you're crying, don't do you no good. Come on up to the house. Come down off the cross, we could use the wood. You got to come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house.
Come on up.
Up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just a passing through. You got to come on up to the house. There's no light in the tunnel, no irons in the fire. Come on up to the house. And you're singing lead soprano in a junk man's choir. You got to come on up to the house. Does life seem nasty, brutish and short? Come on up to the house. Well, the seas are stormy and you can't find no port. You got to come on up to the house. You got to
Come on up to the house. Come on up.
up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just a passing through. You got to come on up to the house. to the house. And you know you should surrender, but you can't let go. You got to come on up to the house. And there's nothing in the world that you can do. Come on up to the house. And you've been whipped by the forces that are inside of you. You got to come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just a passing through. You got to come on up to the house. One more. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just a passing through. You got to come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just a passing through. Ooh, you got to come on up to the house.
We're going to do a little switcheroo here real quick. We're going to do a song called Postcards from Somewhere. We just released this song a little over a month ago. And it's kind of about, we're gone. We're away from Lincoln for a lot of the year. And so when we're back home for these short periods of time, we don't get to see, everybody that we would like to see, whether it be a friend or a family member. And this song is kind of about, it's kind of a message, or like a letter to those people, saying, we love you, we miss you. We've purchased many postcards while out here on the road, but we've never sent a single postcard, which is very unfortunate. So this is, once again, a song that says, we love you, we're thinking about you. Your postcard, it's still coming in the mail, just watch for it, But it might come, it might not, I don't know. If we find the time, we might. But that's basically what the song's about.
Send you a postcard from somewhere that I don't belong. The rivers or the trees, Illinois to Tennessee, from a road built by God just for me. I'll send you a dollar from postage. I know they sell stamps at the store. Please write me soon. I'm alone, it's me and the moon. Else my heart might break in two. Sign it from yours truly. I left you foolishly.
I'll send you a drawing of the places I go, wherever I'll be. You're always known. Whenever you're down, I'll be around. You're the part of me that aches to be found. sign it from yours, sign it yours.
Thank you, Brad. That one's for you.
Behind the music.
I'm not bringing the band up. Okay. Great. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I was just saying, Noah, the beautiful texture in that song. I really liked. I really liked the electric roll
Thank you, Brad.
there. And nice
Appreciate it.
playing, Chloe. Yeah. That's great sound. Beautiful new sound for you guys here
so
on the stage tonight. Do you do that often when you're playing out? Do you pull out the Telecaster?
Yeah, you know, it's always on a few songs. You know, most of our shows I'm playing the acoustic, but we've a few new tunes that utilize the Telecaster here. So
Yeah, great
Yeah.
sound. Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. That's beautiful. Hey, let's talk some Lincoln again. I will admit I did a little bit of research, and so I just want to ask, see if you all know as much as I do, or more. I hope more.
Hopefully.
So tell people about. Can you tell people about O Street?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
Magic
yeah.
happens.
yeah. What is special about O Street?
It's
That's
a figment.
like the main street.
Yes. Yeah.
Say what you were gonna say. That's all I have about
No, I
it.
was gonna
Oh,
say
no.
I was gonna say it's a figment of your imagination, but that's not true at all. I'm sorry. It can be a O Street is like the place.
Okay, next question.
It's
Yeah.
the road. You know, it's
okay.
amazing.
We're like, so we're a college town. Like we
Okay.
have the university.
Yeah, I know.
and-
We have one of those here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chloe.
Well, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That's like our football team, Big Ten.
They're
Oh,
pretty.
yeah.
They're
Um,
pretty good.
So students
days.
like to like go bar hopping. Like all of the college bars are on
Sure.
O Street, and it's like pretty crazy during the school year.
And
No,
even
you
if
guys do have a good little football program out there. It's great.
You know, this year, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Past years, maybe past 20 years, a little bit less.
Yeah, you always have monsters out there. But no, look
Yeah.
at my research. Noah says that O Street is the world's longest main street that spans 59 miles.
I was gonna say for miles.
You have to.
I
That's,
mean, it is pretty long.
It's
I
where the
didn't know
mall
that.
is. It's where all the different like.
oh,
kinda,
sure, you join in now, but you
Yeah.
had your opportunity. Sorry. All right, okay, let's go to another one. How about who is the figure named Archie who resides in a museum on the campus?
That's the mammoth,
Yes.
made by the father of our good friend Noah's childhood friend Dana Hoppy.
The,
What?
so
Yeah.
our album Across the Midwest Sky has a painting of a fella sitting on a bus looking out into a field, and that's painted by our friend who is the son of the sculptor that did the mammoth. Yeah, in front of the museum. There, which
Wow.
is-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and he's evidently the star attraction of the museum. But this is a massive museum of elephant
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and mammoth bones.
Well, it's
right.
it's like a dinosaur. It's like a
Yeah.
history. Like prehistoric. I don't.
We played a show there not too long ago, surrounded by mammoth skeletons.
Oh, neat, neat. Okay, next question. All right, so what about when it comes to soft serve ice cream, Noah? Where would you go?
I think Zestos is like a Lincoln staple.
Oh yeah.
No? Zestos. Come on.
Well,
Oh.
this is all right. This is good to hear you say this because Noah, my first cousin, or my first cousin
Sounds good.
owns Zestos in Lincoln.
Whoa.
Yes, she owns it at 11th and South. How about that?
Oh my gosh.
And
wow.
you know what? Yes, and Linda and her husband Scott and Ryan are watching the program right now.
Oh, Linda,
Yeah.
Scott, Ryan, we love you guys. We're gonna come get some ice cream.
All right, good. Well, guess what? They are putting up a pretty exciting challenge.
Oh.
They are saying that the first we have been in operation for 23 years now. This is our 23rd season.
Dang.
And Linda has offered to give a free soft serve, Zesto's soft serve, to the first 23 people who step up to the window and say, I heard the Wildwoods on Red Barn Radio.
Wow.
But we're gonna be home tomorrow, so there's gonna be three for sure.
Well, you
Yeah.
guys would not. Yeah, no family members can qualify for this. No, this is about getting it out on your social media.
All right.
And yeah,
Nice.
so I heard the Wildwoods on Red Barn Radio.
Beautiful.
Right.
Okay, 23. And yeah, first 23. I think they'll keep tabs.
Nice.
I told her we'd Venmo her the money.
Wonderful.
Oh.
And it has to be the 11th and South
Well,
location.
yeah, the Zesto's, the only
Is that
Zesto,
the only one?
the only Zesto's location in
Oh.
Lincoln
Wow.
is at 11th and South.
I guess I was
Chloe.
thinking the Dairy Suite.
Oh,
Not the
sorry,
same
that's
thing.
the competition.
Yeah.
We're not
I like
endorsing.
Zesto.
We're
Though.
not.
They have like the sprinkled dipped cones.
Oh, yes.
Yum.
All right. Linda is smiling right now. I know she is. Linda, I'm glad you're watching. Hey, okay, I want to go back to an important time in your history, which wasn't really a horribly long time ago, when things kind of exploded. Can you go back to that and tell that story? And I don't know who should tell it, whether it's Noah or Chloe. Chloe, I know you do social media and such for the band. I mean, I want a true version of the story, so I'll ask one of the two of you.
Yeah, right.
I'm the truthful one most of the time. Yeah, so Noah and I had been touring, like I said before, as a duo for like a while. And then we came home from our last duo tour, and it was kind of hard to get people to come out to shows. Like, we were touring organically, and just that's how we were trying to grow a fan base, like they did in the good old days before like social media existed. And I mean, we had some people coming out to our shows, but we were like, you know, we have a Facebook and Instagram. Why don't we try to promote ourselves a little bit more on that? And so we came home, and honestly, we had been practicing and like getting ready to become a trio with Andy before we set out on our last tour together. Andy was finishing his semester at school, so we were like, this will be perfect. We'll come home from our tour and then we'll start making videos. And so we made like, honestly, only a couple of videos, the three of us together, and like the first few just like blew up. And it was really crazy to see the first one that blew up like overnight because it was on Halloween.
What does that
And,
mean, blew up? I mean, by like, can you?
like people were just liking our video like
Yes.
crazy, and you get a notification every time someone likes your stuff or they comment on your stuff. And so our phones, like all three of our phones were just like beeping like constantly, and they would not stop for hours. And it was like it was crazy
So
to
you were just
see.
watching the numbers.
We were just
like-
watching it. We
okay,
grew from
great.
like 2,000 Instagram followers to like 100,000 followers, like literally overnight. People were
Yes.
just watching our video and following us. And it was kind of fun at the beginning because we had never experienced anything like that. So we were just posting covers that we love to play. And after like the first few people kept commenting like, oh, you guys should play this song. You should play this song. So at first we were like, oh, let's try this song together. Let's try this song. And it was a fun game to see like who would watch each video. And we were doing that like it was like 3 videos a week, I feel like, or maybe almost 1 a day. We were just trying to think of new things to post. And that's how it happened. It was wild.
Yeah, and how did that change things for you guys? I would imagine it would represent a shift for you,
It did,
a
yeah. And
rethinking of what you're doing.
so that happened in the fall, and we did not have a tour really planned. So we were like, maybe we should plan a tour together and try to see if this really is going to turn into real people coming out to our shows. So for a long time, until very recently, we were just doing everything ourselves, booking, promoting, posting, making content, making the music, and we would work our jobs, like our music jobs, like it was a 9 to 5. We would meet up at our house every day at 8 a.m. and work until 5 p.m. Well, kind of. Each of us taught music lessons also. So we would take a break from like 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and we would teach music lessons, and then sometimes we would meet up for a little bit all together after that and finish what we were doing for the day. So we were just kind of doing that, setting up this tour, getting ready to go on the road and see if these people were actually real that were following us online. And it was real. Like, we were playing at venues that were probably too small for us to be playing at. Like, we were used to playing like breweries or just little cafes. And I remember the first one that we did on that tour, it was this small cafe, and there was like a line outside of the door of people wanting to come in, and the cafe did not have enough tables for people to sit at. And we were like, this is crazy. This has never happened before. So it completely changed our lives. It made it a lot easier to make music our full-time jobs. And the three of us now, we don't teach music lessons anymore because we don't have the time to do it. And we make enough money now just from playing gigs and making our music and putting it out there.
Wow. Well, how about that?
Yeah, really cool.
That is cool. And so you have somebody else then who manages now your social media and all that business, or?
We still manage our social media, but
do?
we do have a manager and a booking agent and a
yeah.
publicist now that help us with all that other stuff. But we still do a lot of the work ourselves.
Yeah. It just seems that that must be really challenging. You know, it seems that artists, to be an artist and grow and evolve, get better at writing songs, get better at playing your instruments, get better at singing. All of that stuff requires a lot more time than people imagine, and it just seems like it would be very difficult to do that, to find that growth while you're busy trying to hook people.
It's really
with
difficult.
Social media.
That's like the hardest thing about what we've been doing, and it's really just taking each day as it comes and like staying very organized and having a few mental breakdowns here and there. Yeah. But these guys keep me grounded, so it's very helpful.
Yeah. So I mean, Chloe and I have been playing together for 12 years now, and Andy, we've been playing with him for 8 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so with this being kind of a fairly recent, kind of blow up, I guess, I think we get perceived as a new band a lot of the time just because we're new to a lot of people. But there's been a lot of behind the scenes challenges, and we're learning every day. We're trying to get better at what we're doing every day, and always keep our ears open to each other's opinions. And so it's
well,
very.
It seems like you are growing and getting better. So, and I would wager that that's because you found some help and you have now a little more time to think about the right things.
Definitely.
And can you tell us just before we get back to music a little bit about what's being released, what's coming up to be released, a single, and then album in the spring?
Yep.
Is that the idea? So how is that content? How does that show your growth and sort of evolution as the Wildwoods? Your new material.
Well, I would say our new album that we're about to put out is more centered on 3-part harmony. Like, we do have harmony on our other albums, but I feel like this latest one is really music that the three of us have worked really hard on all together. So it kind of showcases our voices a little bit more. And Noah writes the songs for the Wildwoods, so kind of his evolution as well as a songwriter. Our last album was mostly songs about our travels and experiences on the road, but this new album is more about home and how much we appreciate and love coming home. So
good. And the production will then be sort of vocals forward.
Yes, it's more stripped down from our last album, I will say, because we tried to make it more of like how we perform live. We do have drums on the album, but it's a more organic sound focused on 3-part harmony.
Yeah, we've had a lot of kind of reverb-drenched, big sounding, things in the past. But this next album, it's a lot, it's a lot drier. It's a lot kind of more
more like a Welsh Rawlings kind
Yeah,
of sound.
yeah,
Yeah, pared
kinda
down
like-
a little bit. So yeah, Foxfield St. John is an album I urge everybody to listen to. It's really lush. I mean, you do a lot of. It's really strong and it's very powerful, you know, vocally and. But I see what you're trying to do, you know, something different. It's great. So listen to Foxfield St. John and keep an eye out for the new music coming out from the Wildwoods. And we're going to get back to that music just right now. Hey, it looks like you misspelled Nebraska here. Sweet. No, just kidding. Sorry. Now, how do you pronounce that word?
So that is a Niobrara.
Niobrara.
Yep.
Okay, good. And tell us about that song.
So this is going to be a song that we are releasing this coming Friday, and it's the Niobrara River is a river that runs along kind of the northern border of Nebraska, close to South Dakota there, and it's a beautiful place all along the river, but specifically the area that we're referring to is over by Valentine, Nebraska, which is kind of right in the center of the state, almost, you know, a little bit more west, actually. But Chloe and I, we would take trips up there every single summer, and you know, it's just so beautiful. You can drive on these roads up there that you won't pass another car for 3 hours or something, and it's just very,
Beautiful.
very desolate kind of place. There's the population of Nebraska outside of the cities is you know, very, very low, which is part of what makes the state beautiful, because there's you know, there's beauty in the
solitude.
beauty in the solitude. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that our cities in Kentucky, I think Louisville and Lexington combined have about half the population of your whole state.
oh yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it must be just beautiful. So we'll all go out and check it out at some point and stop at Zesto's while
I
we're
highly
Yeah.
recommend.
All right, let's welcome back the Wildwoods.
I love the feeling of the highway and the rumble and the kick beneath my toes. The freedom of the asphalt, the smell of it still lingers on my clothes. Double lines like dominoes fall against each other on the open road. I won't forget you when you're next to me. Sound the horn to keep you away. Sweet Niobrara, in the morning I will leave for Valentine. Highway 12 is a fine stretch of country to clear a foggy mind. Oh, Niobrara, I am leaving you behind. Stopping for a miller, dirty glasses from the farmer's muddy hands. The cracking jokes across the bar, a day of working on the precious land. Near the end of harvest, the clouds they roam like buffalo in the sky. A simple way of living to sharpen up the dullest of knives. Sweet Niobrara, in the morning I will leave for Valentine. Highway 12 is a fine stretch of country to clear a foggy mind. Oh, Niobrara, I am leaving you behind. time. Oh, Highway 12 is a fine stretch of country to clear a foggy mind. Oh, nigh umbrella, I am leaving you, nigh umbrella, I am leaving you, nigh umbrella, I am leaving you behind.
And during one of those trips up to the Niobrara River, we picked up a hitchhiker, and that's how we met Andy. So
Well, it's true story, actually. You know, and I was noodling, if you guys know what that is. It's where you stick your arm in the side of the river, you know, in hopes to pull out a catfish or something. You know, they dig little burrows in there. But I found a beaver that day. So it's actually a prosthetic hand. You had no idea.
Yeah,
Pulling it off pretty well.
You never know what you're gonna find noodling in the Niobrara. You
That's
know,
what they say.
maybe a catfish, maybe a beaver. Your uncle trying to take a nap. I don't know. You know, it could be anything.
It's a magical place.
What a beautiful story, you
Thank you.
guys. Well, we're gonna sing a Gillian Welch tune. This one is called Hard Times, and it's as we've been traveling through the South right after the devastation from the hurricane, it's become a really special song to perform, just for the people that have lost so much and people that just want to experience some normalcy and come out to our shows. We actually played a show in Asheville just a few days ago, and it was canceled originally because the venue was washed away, and then they insisted on having us come still because they moved it to a new place. And we were very worried, honestly, about performing in a place where, to me, it felt like, why would anyone want to come hear us after everything that just happened there? But it was really cool to do that show and just see how appreciative people were to have something normal to go to and just have a sense of like peace and calm for a little while, even if it's just for a little bit. And so we played this song there, and I don't know, Gillian Welch is my favorite songwriter, and she seems to always write music that is perfect for any situation. And this song, I started listening to it when COVID happened, and it was a really difficult time for everyone. We couldn't play music for people, and I was very worried that we never would be able to again. And I found solace in the lyrics to this song, so the chorus lyrics are super beautiful. And we're going to play it right now. A camp down my used to plow and sing. He loved that mule and a mule loved him. When the day got long, as it does about now, I'd hear him singing to his muley cow. Come on, my sweet old girl, I'd bet the whole damn world we're gonna make it, yes, to the end of the road. Singing hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Messy hard times ain't gonna rule my mind.
were supping on tears, we were supping on wine. We all get to heaven in our own sweet time. So come on, you Asheville boys, turn up your old time noise. Kick till the dust it comes up from the cracks in the floor. Pray hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Brother, hard times ain't gonna rule my mind no more. Now the camped out man doesn't plow no more. I've seen him walking down to the cigarette store. Guess he lost that night, he forgot that song. Woke up one morning and the music's gone. So come on, you ragtime kings. Come on, you dogs, and sing. Pick up your dusty old horn and give it a blow. Pray hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Sugar hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Honey hard times ain't gonna rule my mind no more. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Sugar hard times ain't gonna rule my mind no more.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to switch gears. We've been doing a lot of new songs. We're going to do a very old song now. Chloe and I wrote this next tune together, I think when we were just 15 or 16. And It's one that's it's kind of the only one from that era that's kind of stayed with us. So we got married in 2018, and
And we were not 16 when we
no,
got married.
no,
We were 20, which is still really young,
yeah,
but that's okay. We're still together, so
we're still
Yeah.
together.
When you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
that's how I remember how many years we've been married. Because we got married when we were 20, and now I'm 26. So we've been married 6 years.
Bada bing,
Let's hear
bada
it for
boom.
Chloe. Because that's the exact same way that I remember it. So,
Wow.
See?
wow. I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, oh yeah, at our wedding, we gave this EP of duets that we'd written together throughout our relationship up to then to our wedding guests as gifts. And we recently found a box of those because I guess not everybody took one. And so we've been selling them at some shows as limited edition merch. So
Andy was at our wedding, so he has one.
Sure enough, do.
We did,
sure
yeah.
did,
Yeah,
he was the pie boy.
me and my buddy Vince Vaughn, we stopped by.
Okay, enough. What's the next song?
This one's called My Steady Lover.
Pie boy.
Sending you a flower, babe. Trying to put a smile on your face. Falling for your starry eyes, keeping all my hopes alive. The love I have for you is all I need.
Phone is ringing off the hook. Smiling from that kiss that I just snuck. Falling for your soulful eyes, keeping all my dreams alive. The love I have for you is all I need. My steady lover, you
Start a fire on my soul, heavy aching, breaking my bones. And now I can't let you go.
and I love you so.
I'm buying you a diamond ring.
Do my best to give you everything.
I'll say yes and maybe no. If you don't ask, you'll never know. The love I have for you is all I need. My steady lover, you start a fire on my soul, heavy aching, breaking my bones. And now I can't let you go. And I love you so.
And I love you so.
May still so far away, fall for you more every day. The love I have for you is all I need.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Well, there are many people to thank for our broadcast. First, the Wildwoods, our guests on tonight's program. We want to thank all of you for listening to our webcast, watching us on social media, and those listening to us on our growing network of Red Barn stations and media worldwide, and also those of you who came to our studio tonight to watch. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn's premier radio partner, Central and Eastern Kentucky's radio news leader. You can listen online at WEKU.org. It's your chance to hear more great live music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU. That's NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on future programs, future guests. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. And now, before we close out tonight's program, let's bring back the Wildwoods, maybe an abbreviated version of your song, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah,
Absolutely,
don't stretch
sure.
it out. Thanks. All right.
Here's cherry picking. Thanks for having us.
With my honey, I pick cherries, feeling happy as I'm right to be. The hands are red like roses blooming in February. Carrying a pail filled with cherry wine. The ones we picked ourselves will do fine. Fill your glass, if only if you will fill mine. Oh, darling, take me by the hand. You might be my sweet salvation. Hold my trembling soul inside of yours as we crawl through open doors. Darling, tell me to go. Say the words and I will follow you through darkness each and every day. Yeah. Put it in a locket that you wear there in front of your heart.
Here I look at John.
And on my lips too red from the wild. Cherries and berries, and I'll bury another bottle with you. Oh. Oh, darling, take me by the hand. You might be my sweet salvation. Oh, my trembling soul inside of yours. Darling, tell me to go. Say the words and I will follow you through darkness each and every day. Through darkness each and every day. Through darkness each and every day. Yeah. Put it in a locket that you wear there in front of your heart.
All right. Well, that's all for our show for this week. You can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on the web on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. And it's always great to hear from all of you who listen to Red Barn Radio's archived performances on your favorite streaming platforms. And speaking of you listeners, please, before, during, and after you enjoy Red Barn Radio, take just a moment to engage with us. Your comments, your sharing, and certainly your choice to subscribe will continue helping us with our mission to bring roots music Southern style to your neck of the woods and beyond. And now we bid you good night. Let's stick together, let's appreciate each other, and let's join up again next week for another great evening of music and conversation on Red Barn Radio. I'm Bradford Becker, your host. See you next time.